My name is Rhoda Temple Morton, and I'm 53 years old, and I'm a resident of New Albany, Indiana, which is in the southern part of Indiana, and known as across the bridge from Louisville, Kentucky.
Rhoda and I have been friends all of my life. She's known me all of my life, and her parents were some of my favorite people. I knew that your dad worked at the Gallagher plant, but I had no idea. Again, I don't think that it was a coal plant. So, do you think that any of his health issues are related to him working at this coal plant?
Yes, at the plant they did annual physicals, and he would always show me his report. And the reports each year would show that he had a nodule on his left lower lobe of his lung. And but he died with liver cancer, which was not the primary type of cancer, but it was secondary to which I believe was lung cancer.
Do you think any of the employees out there, do you think that they know, the employees of the Gallagher plant, that it's hazardous?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Yes.
So, with your mom, and did she ever think that maybe your dad was sick quite a bit and that it could be related to his job?
I don't think she realized it the way that I did. I don't think she's seen the symptoms, but he did lose about 30% of his hearing from this.
From working there?
From working there.
And you and we live several blocks away from each other, and which is in the West End, and probably the majority of the African Americans in New Albany live in our neighborhood, which is about 3 miles from the plant. Do you think, as a healthcare, you're in the healthcare business, do you think that we are being affected by this hazardous coal plant?
Yes. I have asthma, was born with asthma, and I noted that when I was younger, I was sick more often. But I think as the years went on and there were advances in medicine, that it wasn't as bad. But I have a feeling that they did do something down there to help clean up the air.
That's interesting because I grew up, just a couple of blocks from you, and I have severe allergies, and I wonder if they're related to living so close and growing up. And I lived there, as you know, all of my young adult life, and now I live, just around the corner from where I grew up, and I'm wondering if my allergy problems are somehow related to this Gallagher plant. But tell me, for you used to always tell me stories at church about growing up. Tell me what you think about this community. I'm just curious to see if we have the same insight.
Well, we just learned just the strong ethics that our parents had raised us on. You get up, you go to work, you do the best that you can, you do good in school, and the desire for them is to get a college education.
Which you did, and which you also encouraged me many
young people.
Many young people, and my motto has always been to follow the rules, stay within the guidelines, and help everybody I can. And even when my dad was very ill and I had quit school to help take care of him, you always encouraged me after he died to go back
to school.
And I did that, and I graduated from grad school, and so that I appreciate that. But have you enjoyed living in this community and staying here? I mean, I stayed here after college, and you did too as well. But is that something you wanted to do? Why did you stay here in this community?
I guess because I was homesick when I went away to school, and I had to come back. I was just homesick. I'm just the type of person that just could leave because the city is so small. You know practically everybody here.
Which is, I want to talk to you about where you live, because we both live in the West End, and as you know, I moved into my subdivision that was new about 5 or 6 years ago, and I could have moved to the suburbs, but I always said I wanted to live in the city because I want to be able to vote for the mayor. And I wanted to live in the West End because it's close to my family, and it's where I grew up. And you and I probably could live wherever we wanted to, but you live in the same house that you lived in when I was young. And how do you what's your appreciation for living in the West End, which again is only 3 miles probably from this gallery plant?
I just like the atmosphere in the community, just the neighborhood itself, because I only live behind my mother and my father and my sister live next door to my parents.
I know. When I would ride my bike down your avenue, you would yell out the kitchen window at me, and that it was just always good to know people in the neighborhood. And I think my mother felt good about that too, because if I rode on Jackson Street, I was in front of your parents' house. If I rode on Illy, I was by your house. Someone who would keep an eye on us, and that's always good. So it's that small town. Would you say that small town community and tight knit people? And you're involved in NAACP as well, which you're a great supporter because it's we have a very small group. So I appreciate your support with that. And I guess would you just like to? Why don't you just tell us about end here with your appreciation for the community and for people, and because you have compassion because you're a nurse, so I know you have compassion. And why don't you just tell us a little bit about that?
I'm just the type that just like a small community. I love children, and I just love to tell them that they need to stay in school. That's my major focus now, is making sure that kids are being taught and that they learn all that they can, because the problem we went through with the schools being closed and stuff. But I just want to say that New Albany is about 7% African American, and within 3 miles of the power plant, about 3% of us live within the radius, and even including in Louisville, Kentucky, which extends over the water, that part of the 3 miles to the Shawnee area, where they have their own problems with emissions, which is rubber town.
And that's the west end of
The west end of Louisville. And also, this is the Ohio Valley, and we have the Ohio Valley disease, which is mainly some of the birds that we have here. But it just has this small town atmosphere. We like to eat, go to church, and work.
Yep, and have barbecue.
And have barbecue.